Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and it's so extraordinary to be together.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Whoops, hold on.
I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro,
I got some
and
feedback
it's
on
so
my end. There we go.
extraordinary to be together. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Whoops, hold on.
I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro,
I got some
and
feedback
it's
on my
so
end. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Let me start that again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and how wonderful it is that we're together for this Shabbat experience. Are celebrating Shavuot. This is the acceptance of our spiritual freedom, embracing of Torah from Mount Sinai. And Shavuot began last night. For many Jews, it extends for 2 days. For a lot, it is a one-day festival, but we want every reason there is to continue to embrace Torah, not even for just the 2 days, but for as long as we can. Tonight's service will celebrate Torah. We'll celebrate what Torah gives to our hearts and our souls. How fortunate we are that our cantor, Lonnie Freilich, will be guiding us through so many of the prayers today. We ask that you make the time to open your hearts, to allow your spirit to soar, and to please join us with music and with prayer as we enter Shabbat.
We're going to begin our service with the singing of one of our favorite Akiba standards. It's called Torah Li, and it's in honor of the holiday of Shavuot. Torah li, Torah li, Torah sheli. Torah li, Torah li, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Dance with the Torah and sing out a song. Dance with the Torah and sing all day long. Torah, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Ani sameach, ani samecha. Ani sameach, ani samecha. Torah, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli.
Friends, as we begin Shabbat, we light our candles, we allow spiritually for the light to enter our souls. And we're going to be offering the blessing for Shabbat as we offer and begin these candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And of course, one of the dangers of doing services outdoors is when the wind blows out your Shabbat candles, but it never extinguishes the light that's inside of us. We're going to ask for all who are able to please rise for our Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu. B'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher le'tziyat mitzrayim. Ivanu b'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. L'chaim, everyone. What an honor it is now to invite to our Shabbat service our board member, our trustee, Jerry Weiner, who is here to offer a shalom. Jerry, Shabbat shalom and Chag Sameach to you.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach to you, Rabbi and Cantor, and everybody that is out in the congregation watching our virtual Shabbat tonight. My name is Jerry Weiner, and I'm the House and Grounds Trustee for Temple Akiba, working on many projects to get our building going and back for all of you to come and visit again in person and have our kids come back and be able to go to school and et cetera, et cetera. So I'd like to welcome everyone to our virtual Shabbat tonight, and we're glad you could join us. So I've got a few announcements tonight. Coming up on June 12th is going to be the infamous or famous virtual Disney Shabbat, which is usually a packed house, kind of a Shabbat, but this time we're going to do it on the way we're doing it right now, and it's going to be at a different time. It's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m., not 7, and you'll get information via email and how to link up to that on the 12th. Then coming up in July, on July 3rd, we're going to have Nepesh Mountain performing, and depending on how we are operating at that time, it'll either be somewhat in person, somewhat on Zoom. So you'll have to get the information on that in the future to see how that's going to actually happen. And those are the announcements for today.
Thank you so much, Jerry. We so appreciate you and your wonderful family, everything that you do at every level. It's extraordinary.
Thank you.
How wonderful it is to give thanks to our God. Cantor is going to be leading us in a beautiful melody called Tov Lehodot.
Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha 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 elyon. Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Lehagi baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha baleilot. Lehagi baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha baleilot. Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai.
So oftentimes at this part of our service, if we were in person, we'd ask people to get up and turn around and greet one another and say hello to one another. we're going to ask that you take a moment in the chat box here on the YouTube page to just send a little Shabbat Shalom message and take really a little bit of time to express what's in your heart and share Shabbat Shalom with the world, and look at the other people who are here and just spiritually reach out and embrace them with the kind of hug that you would love to give them. We'll give you a moment to do this. I'm loving seeing all the messages that have already popped up in our chat, all the Shabbat Shaloms. Meg Clements wrote, love hearing Cantorlani's voice. I think we all do. That's so beautiful. Lauren Varsano, great to see you. Alec, and so many of our members who are here, and people who are not yet members, who have opportunity to be. You're all part of our family tonight. Melody wrote, it feels good to be here with all of you. You feel hugged, you are hugged, and we're receiving that in response. We're going to continue with our Chatzi Kaddish. Cantor?
Yikata v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'amad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach La'alam U'Lamei Hamaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'ama ve'imeru amen.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We're going to ask if you're able to please rise, face east toward Jerusalem, which for me is this direction, and we continue with our formal call to worship.
La
from our prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah. As you taught Torah to those whose name I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Vaed.
Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, lai, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. לה לה יה לה 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 יה לה 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 לה. והיו דברים האלה אשר אנוכי אצווך היום על לבבך. לה לה יה לה 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 la 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 ya la 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 ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו תותפות בין עיניך וכתבת על מזוזות ביתך על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. יאי לי לי יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה. Hey! So Cantorlani, a little something that's unscripted in here. Let me put my guitar down because two of the most incredible Shabbat blessings, three of the most incredible Shabbat blessings just came over here. Maya and Eli, do you want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone? And Ron?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
There's nothing like the smell of a baby after being giving their baths. So they're almost 9 months old, and these, of course, for those who haven't met them yet, are beautiful twins. So thank you, Ron, for bringing them to say hi to everyone.
It's time for them to go to bed.
All right.
Mwah.
Shabbat Shalom. Before we continue with our next prayer, a couple of words. This week, humanity disintegrated as we witnessed the unfathomable injustice against Blacks in America. In Minneapolis, our country saw police brutality against an unarmed Black man, George Floyd, who suffocated to death by undue force of an officer while other officers stood by. The very same day, a white woman in Central Park called police on a Black man, exclaiming that he was threatening her life when all he was doing was encouraging the woman to put her dog on a leash in a place where dogs were by law supposed to be on a leash. Both stories, so unfortunate and yet all too common, they show that in our day, in our country, we have a long, long way to go. It's so sad. And we have to understand that as a community of justice, none of us is free until all are free. None of us is safe until all are safe. None of us is protected until all are protected. And none of us is truly embraced until all are embraced. We can't get there by sitting back and watching the world unfold. We have to part the sea, which is not in the natural order of things. We have to jump in, make the waters part, journey against the current, and enable the world to go toward freedom. We don't do this by sitting back. We don't do this by just praying. We do this by putting our feet forward and being part of the difference. That is what this prayer that we're coming to calls us toward. It's not a prayer for the sake of prayer alone. It's a prayer, the Micha Mocha, which says, okay, in history, we march toward freedom. We've got to do the same thing today. As Jews, we have a proud history of standing up when others don't. And we need to continue to be that light unto the nations, because the story is our story and we care. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped, who calls us to action.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei feleh, Nora tehilot osei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeili, zeili anu ve'yameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
We continue with the covenant of Shabbat, the Vishamru.
Vishameru B'nei Israel et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Beini uvein B'nei Israel Oti Leolam Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai Et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash.
We continue now with the Amidah, and once again, if you're able, we ask that you rise and face east for the central prayer in our service.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chastei Ahavot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav leHoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofe cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
As we enter now our own private moments of prayer, take a second to look deep inside of your souls. Perhaps reflect on something beautiful you saw or a hope or a dream that you have, and allow that hope or that beauty to blossom within you so you can bring that strength into the rest of Shabbat. We pray silently.
It is a tree of life. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomecha me'ushar. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomecha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom.
There are so many reasons we come together to pray. We may be thanking God, we may be asking God, we may be wanting to be with the community. But one of the main purposes of prayer is to come together to find healing and hope. And so our next prayer is the Mi Sheberach. This is a specific prayer for those seeking an embrace of shalom. We're asking God to not only heal those who are sick, but to send strength and guidance and wisdom to the doctors and the caregivers and the loved ones. As Cantor offers this prayer on behalf of all of us, if there are people that you know who could use that strength, please share those names in the chat box so that we can see them, so that we can all see them. And please know that you are always in our hearts and in our souls.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Cantor, thank you so much for such extraordinary music that is uplifting our souls. I also want to acknowledge behind the scenes Carol Diamond, who is here every Friday night. Carol is our Vice President of Religious Practice, and Carol is on hand to help us now with technology to make sure that all who want to be part of our services are able to. And Carol, we really appreciate your hand behind the scenes. As we mentioned at the beginning of service, Judaism throughout the world is observing Shavuot, the accepting and embracing of Torah. Last evening, all over the world, Jews participated in what's called a Leil Tikkun Shavuot, meaning a study, an all-night study during this festival. There were opportunities to study text, to have yoga, to do some cooking classes, to enjoy music. Something that spoke to everyone was available. A class that I taught was on a rabbinic text that is near and dear to my heart. It's called Pirkei Avot. It means the chapters or the ethics of our ancestors. And there's deep wisdom in these chapters, in these verses that guide our lives. Some of the wisdom has been well known to many of us since childhood, and other pieces may be new. In the beginning parts of Pirkei Avot, usually one of the ancient rabbis receives a piece of wisdom from a preceding rabbi and then adds his own understanding to that wisdom. So for example, and usually that wisdom came in 3 different pieces of advice. So for example, toward the beginning of Pirkei Avot, we learn Shimon HaTzadik, Simon the Righteous, was one of the last of the great Sanhedrin. And his advice was that the world stands on 3 things: on Torah, on worship, and on acts of loving kindness. This song or this saying is very famous through music. A lot of us may recall the song that we sing when we pray the Torah around. Al shlosha divarim, al shlosha divarim, al shlosha divarim, ha'olam omed. That means the world stands on 3 things. Al ha'torah, on the Torah, va'al ha'avodah, on worship or work, va'al gimilut chasadim, and on acts of loving kindness. And then it repeats itself. So Shimon HaTzadik, Shimon the Righteous, said that the entire world can be brought down to these 3 important concepts: Torah, worship, and just being good to one another. Later on, we come down a couple of chapters, we have Rabbi Hillel. And Hillel said, be like the disciples of Aaron, to love peace, to pursue peace, and draw humanity close to Torah. So again, 3 things: loving peace, pursuing peace, and with love, drawing humanity close to Torah. Hillel had a number of sayings. Another one of his most famous sayings came in a group of 3 as well. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I am for myself only, what am I? And if not now, when? Now, some of the rabbis added a little bit of extra. While many of them gave advice in groups of 3, there were some who gave advice in 4s. One of them was Rabbi Ben Zoma. He asked 4 questions. Who is wise? Those who learn from all people. Who is powerful? Those who are able to focus their energy. Who is rich? those who can find happiness in that which they have, and who is honored, those who honor others. So these that I just shared are just a few examples of hundreds of rules, of laws, of ethics from this genre of literature. But it doesn't stop there. We all inherit the wisdom of these ancestors. And so sometimes I wonder if we had the opportunity to take the entirety of Judaism and focus it with our own saying, our own most important values, what would they be? What does Torah at its core teach us to do? Now, mind you, of the ones that we just shared that go back 2,000 years, none of those ethics said the most important thing is to believe in God. The most important thing is to keep kosher. The most important thing is to wear tefillin. No. The ethics that they shared were about how we treat one another and how we should act ourselves. And so I've taken the opportunity to think deeply in the past weeks about what my saying might be as I receive Torah from my ancestors and I share it with others. And like Rabbi Ben Zoma, instead of having a saying of 3, mine comes down to 4 parts. I suppose rabbis whose name begin with the letter Z, or there's a Z somewhere in there, may have a little bit of poetic license here. So I have 4 parts to my saying. Listen before you speak. Speak before you act. Act before you instruct. And instruct before you rest. Let me share those one more time. Listen before you speak. In other words, have your radar on. Don't walk into a room and just not listen to people. Know what's going on. Look around the room. Get all the information you have before you spread something, because what you hear on the news may not be accurate. So listen, really listen. Have your radar on to all points of views before you speak. Speak before you act. If you have something important to do, give others a roadmap. So share your thoughts with others, get them on your page so they can understand what you're about to do, and then do it as a team. Speaking before you act, saying a little something before you go and do something great is so important to get other people to understand what your vision is. Act before you instruct. So before you go and teach people what to do, you got to do it yourself first. You can't tell people what to do unless you yourself is doing it first. Otherwise, it's mindless and it's blank. So before you teach others to do something, do it yourself. Do that action before you go and instruct other people what to do. And finally, instruct before you rest. That can be interpreted in a variety of ways. Before you go to sleep, make sure you've created one teaching moment for someone else, whether it's your child, whether it's your peer, whether it's yourself. Open up your heart to learn something new and instruct before you rest. Rabbinically, rest can mean many more things. Rest could be before you die. And make sure that before the end of your days, you take what you are most passionate about and instruct it to someone else. And so let me share these one more time. Listen before you speak. Speak before you act. Act before you instruct. And instruct before you rest. May the sayings of our ancestors blend into your own ethical code, and may you go forward in life to become blessings. King Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen.
And we begin our concluding prayers with the singing of Aleinu. And once again, if you're able, please stand and rise and face east. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kageye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushemo, Echad.
As we approach Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, I offer a reading which is from our prayer book. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We remember now friends and family of our community who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We remember first those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Stephen Abrams, Raphael Bellatini, Arthur Wolf Lewin, Selma Millman, and Dan Stievelman. If there are people that you're thinking of for whom you're in Shloshim, who have died in these past 30 days, please share their names in the chat box so that those in our service can see those names. We also remember the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. And we begin with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room. Molly Baltimore, Shirley Fisher, Grace Gross, Arthur Rosengard, Vera Rothman, Howard Seidman. We also remember Mary Abramoff, Harry Bubis, Saul Komp, Ben Dubin, Mary Edelstein Weissman, Annette Elpern, Estelle Farias, Nathan Gold, Berlatan Goldfarb, Paula Goldfarb, Marilyn Goldman, Irving Jenkins, Marion Kassan, Norman Levin, Esther Maccabee, Seymour Mendelson, Samuel Pyre, Paula Pfeffer, Morton Popkin, Philip Robinson, Max Rosenblatt, Benjamin Saltman, Ida Seiden, Robert Sokoloff, Sigmund Steinberg, Dorothy Swerdlow, Patterson Turley, Robert Trachtenberg, Alan Wertheim, Martin Wixman. And again, for those who are in our community who are observing a yard site, if you can please add their names to the chat box so all of us can share in your grief and in your loss. We will share together with words of Kaddish Yatom that will appear on your screens in a moment. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah b'yama divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagalau v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach leolam u'amei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudasha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Friends, before our closing song, we're very excited. One final announcement. Next week's service, which will be a 6:30 service, it's our earlier Shabbat Shirah service, is going to highlight members of Temple Akiba who are seniors in our high school programs. And there are at least a half a dozen of them who will be participating. And we're going to be having a little bit of a panel discussion, asking them questions about what kept them at Temple Akiba, what drives them about Judaism, what they'll bring with them going forward as they go to the next chapter of their lives. And we're all looking forward to capturing their words. And we're all so sad to see them go, as proud of them as we are. So please come and join us next week, hear from our brilliant and wonderful young people as they share about their journeys. Cantor, what are we closing with tonight?
So we're closing with the singing of Sweet as Honey. There's a saying that the Torah is so wonderful, so special, that it is just as sweet as honey on your tongue. And this is a wonderful song by Dan Nichols. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue.
So speaking of sweet as honey, I don't have a Shabbat challah, but
I do.
Oh, I was going to say I've got a Shavuot kugel here.
Oh, that's even better. Let's do it to your Shavuot kugel. That's amazing.
And I know that there's a different blessing that we say over all types of food, but we will do because we're hoping that people out there are having a Shabbos dinner and are enjoying the challah. And Cantor's got a challah there. So Cantor, if you can lead us in this.
Sure, let me go grab my challah as well. So give me
Awesome.
1 second.
Great. For those of you who had blintzes on Shavuot, just a little bit of Shavuot understanding. Why have blintzes? We eat blintzes because the shape of a blintz is the shape of a Torah. So it's kind of like taking Torah into our bodies. We have a woman in our congregation who chose to become Jewish from a Hispanic background, and her tradition on Shavuot is to have enchiladas, which I love. So enchiladas are the same kind of shape as a blintz. Oh my gosh, what kind of challah is that?
So this is another homemade challah with chocolate chips, sprinkles, and marshmallows.
Whoa!
Yeah,
All right,
it's a fun challah.
that sounds awesome. All right, hands. I'm going to point my hands toward that challah with the kugel in my hand. Take it away, Cantor.
Great combo. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you again to Cantor Lani. Thank you to Caroline, my sister Rachel, who made this delicious meal. We wish you all a sweet Shabbos, a Chag Shavuot Sameach. And we can't wait offerings that will be happening over the next and month. Everyone.